At school, well, I didn't particularly have a very good time at school. I think I was in like that, that kind of group of kids that people make fun of. That was basically where I was. So I had my little group of friends, but I really liked school. I really loved it. I loved learning, and I loved, I've always been, it's not exactly competitive, but I always wanted to do well. And if I could be like best at something, I was very happy. So I was that kind of kid, So I just loved it. I loved any kind of history, science. I loved, obviously, painting. I actually used to love that and all that. Mathematics, yeah. I think just coming out of I think in a very personal way, if you've lived a certain kind of life and you got to a certain stage in your life, you might think that you're not, that there's a way that you can express yourself through work that almost like makes people realise that you are a thing, a being, that you're alive and that you have worth, you know what I mean? So it's almost like you can use that. I remember thinking that when I was quite young, that if I could express myself in this way, people would understand what was going on inside me and so on. So I think that's probably on a very personal level, away from any considerations that I wanted to be a writer or anything. I just wanted to say to people, look at this, I can do something, I've got a new novel coming out shortly called The Body Library, which is a science fiction detective story set in a very strange city where stories and narrative actually come to life and infect people. And because it's a private eye, there is crime involved, and the private eye becomes part of a story that he can't really control, and it starts to take him over. It was an interesting book to write. It was I felt like I was almost tapping back into a kind of a way of writing that was very pure, where I just wrote just to see what would happen, and just like trying to make it happen as I wrote it. So it's almost like the private eye caught up in the story. It was me being caught up in the novel as well. Well, I'm the kind of person, I come from the generation that used to go to the libraries a lot. I remember I used to do, I loved going to the library, especially at night when I'm just wandering around and coming out with far too many books. Much more that you could get 8 books out, much more. I would never read all that, but I just had to get them all. And I used to discover lots of SF and things, weird, strange things like that. So I used to think that libraries are really important. I do know that they're under threat and all that, but I still think that they are centrally important. Is that they're almost like that, a place where knowledge is kept. And I think in the internet age, it's really good that there is still this place where books are kept, and that anyone can go in at any time and read a book. They don't have to worry about paying for anything or anything like that. It's just there and it's free, and really important.